Dobra, zaczynamy rozdział 16. Bo już jestem podjarany, już nic nie będę mówił. Jedziemy z historią. Rozdział 16. Dom. Okej. Wracamy do naszych bliskich Kingsbridge. No ale długi to był rozdział. Jest Filip.
So much has grown.
Oho, Jonathan.
There are no roots, no herbs.
No już tak wygląda 10-11 lat.
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
A, no rozwalone.
The garden is in disorder. I want it to be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well,
Fuck.
what did you do?
I cleaned up.
Where do we start?
Wyrwanie chwastów, zasadzenie naszym. Wyrwanie chwastów.
Some plants are weeds and must go before we can plant new seeds.
Dokładnie tak.
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light, water, room.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them apart. Here, you see those? They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
If
No i
you
super.
insist. Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
Zasugeruj przekopanie ziemi.
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
So, may I dig now?
Da, dawaj.
Done. What's next?
Okej, teraz trzeba podlać ziemię. No zasać nasiona, potem podlać nasiona.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Aha, no tak, no trzeba najpierw po nie iść. No Filip na razie nie jest taki już jeszcze starczy. Coś idzie, coś idzie.
Now, where did you put them?
Biedny Milios i Cadberg zginęli.
Here they are.
Nie zdążyli nawet sobie pogadać z Miliusem, nie? Filip tak bardziej poważnie od śmierci Cadberta. I to mnie boli.
You always said you wanted to plant these seeds and make a new garden, Milius.
Dokładnie.
I think it's about time.
Będziemy mieli ogródek, no ale z katedra i tak jest trochę niedorobiona niestety. Pan Alfred się wypiął na nas dupę, to on pewnie... A, wspomnienia. Nie róbcie mi tego, zaraz mi łezka poleci.
What did you bring?
Do you remember Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Wow!
I podlej, podlej.
Now we just have to wait.
All right.
Trochę dłużej to potrwa, wiesz? Nie, że tak od razu.
How long?
Too long for us to keep sitting here.
That long.
Some things take time. And only with patience will you receive your reward.
Dokładnie tak jak mówi
Why do
Filip.
we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting would not have been enough, Jonathan. You just paved the way for things to take their course. They are happening right now. And in a few days' time, we will return and see the first green leaf of something new.
Oh. Is it God's reward?
Maybe.
No, Filip już taki
Does he
niewierzący.
make things grow?
You made it.
No.
No. I just planted the seed.
Podlejmy nasiona.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever. There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
Okej.
Maybe you're right. It is worth it. Let's walk together then.
But I'll carry the bucket.
Dobrze. Możesz nieść. Błakiet. Kingsbridge później tego dnia.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon?
Oho.
What's gotten into Philip?
No widzicie jak to wygląda? Wszystko się zawaliło.
Our church lies in ruins.
No właśnie.
But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
Wiedz, że Bóg nad wami nie czuwa. O kurde! O fucking hell! No bo ja bym bardziej szedł przed tym, nie?
God doesn't watch us from above. While you and I have waited for God to make things better, a lot has happened.
Dokładnie. No ludzie.
Hardships and happiness. Yesterday I heard the choir sing a new chant and was moved beyond words. Today, Jonathan tended to our garden to make it beautiful again. And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. God doesn't work in the ways we might assume. All good and all evil the scripture tells us about are not out there or in here. They are within each of us.
Że człowiek jest Bogiem. Nie no, aż tak nie będziemy, że
God
nie wszyscy są...
made us in his image. Thus we carry the godly spark within us.
No,
But we have witnessed that man can have the devil in his heart as well.
dokładnie.
Prayer needs no special place, for we are his church. In our actions, he exists.
No tak, ale przyda się większe
We are
pomieszczenie.
God's temple.
No man is closer to God than any other man. Whether you pray in church or on the streets of our towns, whether you're a man, woman,
Podoba mi się
monk or bishop,
myślenie Filipa.
Philip, look outside.
Oho!
You have to see them.
Jonathan, co się
You've
stało?
got to see the horses and the colours.
What?
Jonathan,
Wysłuchaj go.
now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What? What priest?
O nie.
Step right up, brothers and sisters. For you are about
Ale
to
ten
see
brzydki teraz
something that
katedra,
will
ja
change
pierdzielę.
your life.
Who is that?
What the fuck?
They brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Don't be shy. There is no danger, just awe that awaits you here.
Kim ty kuźwa jesteś?
You must be
A to
Brother
ten.
Philip.
Jacka
I am
przywiózł?
Brother Reynolds.
A i ten. Widzę już.
I have been
Rudy.
sent by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable doubts.
List arcybiskupa Canterbury. Filipie z Kingsbridge, błagam cię o przyjęcie podobizny płaczącej Madonny, gdyż wybrała Kingsbridge na swą świątynię. Gdy dotarły do mnie wieści o cudzie, wezwałem procesję, poszedł me oblicze. Widziałem cud na własne oczy. Madonna jest prawdziwa. Zarządziłem, by cudowna figurka powstała na angielskiej w Winchesterze. Jednak jej strażnicy przekonali mnie do zimnej decyzji. Wyjawnili mi, że przybyli do Anglii, by wesprzeć odbudowy katedry w Kingsbridge. Masz moje błogosławieństwo, Filipie z Kingsbridge. Oczekuję, że odbuduje swój klasztor, by stał się godny świętej Madonny. Teobald arcybiskup. No i widzicie, ta figurka naraz może nam pomóc znowu odbudować.
We've been charged to accompany the Weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected
ciekawe ile.
donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her and in the Lord.
I can't believe this. What is all this?
You do believe. That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today.
Jak Rick i Morty, Bóg nie istnieje. Robimy to dla
The
pieniędzy.
Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa.
Z jakiego kraju
baptized
przybywacie?
Saracen was her
No Filip
former
nie wie,
guardian.
musimy grać takiego jak
What
i ten.
country did you say you came from?
We have traveled all the way from a place of wonders too marvelous to behold. The
Jest-
faraway
jest
land
dziecko.
of Africa.
Africa has many countries, I've heard.
Yes, it does. I knew not her powers or destination.
Jak jest w Afryce?
Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles.
What's it like in Africa?
The sun is always shining, and miracles happen every day. It's a land of great deserts, fig trees, and creatures that an Englishman can't even dream up.
Like these horses. Are they horses?
They are not. To you, they might resemble horses, but the name the Africans have for these creatures is impossible to pronounce.
Na razie wszystko mówi, co jest zgodne z Afryką.
Many bore witness to her miracle.
Dobra, nie pytaj o szczegóły już.
Dawned upon me.
What you told me about Africa sounds very different from what we know here.
Just like the miracle you're about to witness. But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter?
Excuse me. Don't interrupt.
She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge."
You mentioned there were fig trees in Africa. What
Uh-huh.
are they?
It's a fruit, of course.
I
It
to owoc?
looks
Ja nie
like
pamiętam.
a strawberry and tastes like a pear.
Ja nie
The
wiem.
scripture mentions these figs, and they sound nothing like that. Why is that?
No two apples look or taste alike. The same goes for figs, and doubly so.
I'm getting the impression that this man has never even been to Africa. But why would he lie?
And
Badaj
along the,
otoczenie.
over the sea and all the way to Kingsbridge.
Jonathan.
Jonathan?
They're about to show the miracle. Look.
Devout Christians have
Obcy
given
mnisi.
money
No,
for
Filip
the
jest
building
nieufny
of
już,
the
nie?
church of the
Tell me the
weeping
truth.
Madonna.
Why are you here?
We are guardians of the Holy Virgin that sheds tears. We were appointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, but it was the Holy Virgin herself who chose us while she travelled through Europe.
Oh, yes. How did that happen?
She speaks without words.
Tak, bo płacze. W tej części wozu. Zasłony.
That's not fit for a shrine. And I think there's someone snoring in there. Strange.
Now,
Ktoś by...
Nothing sacred.
brothers and sisters, I have heard
Przykrycie,
that life
bo...
has not been kind to Kingsbridge, but it is in places like these and in dark times and along the road
Marta.
from Paris across North
Kurde, a widzicie jak te konie wyglądają? Jakie mają garby?
Procession.
They
Chyba
seem
pierwsze
well
wielbłądy.
intended, and we could use the money.
over the sea.
They look
and
almost
all the
like
way to
horses.
Kingsbridge.
Hollow. Feels like a wicker basket
Christians
covered in
have
pelt.
given money for the building of the church of the weeping Madonna.
My dear people,
Oh, I'm so excited to see a true miracle.
Did you hear that? The
Okay.
Madonna has chosen us.
She's come all the way from Africa.
This church of
Przyjrzy się
Kingsbridge.
przedniej części wozu.
And I will tell you again. She
Ktoś się tam obudził.
many bore witness to her miracle. Before she wanted to, but when?
Mały chłopiec, o!
Came to me in a dream. It was Kingsbridge. You must be thinking,
I
how
am
can you be
Philip.
so sure?
Who are you, young man?
In the beginning, I was not. I only had my faith.
Czego się
I
ukrywa?
knew not
Why are you
my
hiding?
powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles.
Okej.
Who heard me? The weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was. Can you feel it?
Nie.
Brothers and sisters, you are about to witness a miracle.
Ale wyrósł.
The Madonna knows how you have suffered. The Virgin Mother had to witness the rise and fall of her Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and never stopped believing. Kingsbridge has endured many hardships. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most.
Z tym się
Your
zgodzę.
old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered
Tak.
the
No,
ruthless
oni mu powiedzieli, nie?
destruction of your market,
Aliena i Jack.
homes and
Jack.
lives.
Dada!
All of you have lost husbands,
Tada.
wives and children, family and friends.
Dada!
Aha.
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid.
Ha!
Jack. Aliena.
Philip,
But this is...
a miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
We thought it was time to give Tommy a home.
Tommy.
Your boy?
Well, Philip, do you recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Tommy? But...
Gdzie się podziewaliście?
It's been almost 3 years since I last saw you, Jack. Where on earth did you find him?
I'd almost given up looking for him. Then Tommy found him.
And you decided to come back.
Well, this is our home, after all.
Then what on earth is all this? This miracle?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Dokładnie.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Why?
I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colors, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
No, ten jest zdeterminowany.
Because this is home.
The townspeople probably think that's enough to build a whole cathedral, but to me it looks like about £100. You know, that won't even pay for a year's work.
Like all of this, it's a symbol. Enough for a fresh start.
No,
And the Madonna
zawsze
will
coś.
stay here. Kingsbridge will attract visitors and donations again.
You mean I should be thankful for these lies and tricks?
Jack! Aliena, you came back!
Tak,
We wanted to see you, little sister.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you! And the little one!
Tommy,
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Richard shows up every now and then, and Ellen returned to the forest.
we need to visit her.
Father lives with her now.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am
no.
too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry.
She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge. She knows your pain.
What now?
The miracle!
Będzie
Her
płakać.
eyes are wet.
Her eyes!
Look at her.
They're shining!
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
She is made of wood. It's impossible.
Why are you weeping?
She is mute ever since her husband died.
No.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
Przemówiła. No widać, że im te figurki bogobojne te dają nadzieję, no.
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle.
No.
We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
No trochę tak.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you.
Remigius.
But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something to wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that.
Why?
Don't you remember what happened last time? My, how easily we forget.
I remember well.
And still, you put your trust into a group of random strangers to make things better. Philip, why in God's name have you stood by and let this happen? They're tricking us into giving them money for false idols.
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol in our priory? Do you approve of this?
Podstęp, postęp, poprziców. Kurde, what the fuck? No ja pierdzielę, no ale ja już nie wierzę, więc poprziców.
People need hope, and these travelers are giving them hope.
Dokładnie.
Yes, it is a deception, but with good intentions. Mary speaks again. Is that not a true miracle?
You fell for them. You really did. And now you joyfully take part in their deceptions.
Shut
I'm
up.
warning you. I cannot support a prior who tolerates heresy.
To wyjdź do Alfreda,
Your
idź.
threat
Zrób mu laskę.
won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. And now I make mine.
No, słucham, no.
I resign. I'm leaving the priory.
No i nara. Po tobie akurat płakać nie będę. Rózgobiczu. 2 dyktatorów wyszło. Został jeden, który chociaż trochę chce zadbać, czyli Filip. O ten klasztor i o ludzi. O, jesteśmy w lesie.
Don't let him fool you. Usually he's always up to something.
Znam to miejsce z drugiego rozdziału. Jak Jack tutaj polował na sarnę.
We are so proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here? Your wife, Agnes?
No. Ellen and Martha moved her to Kingsbridge. She got a proper
A,
burial
no i
this time.
super.
Will you come back with us too?
Would you want that?
Yes. I need your help with the cathedral. Philip and I have big plans.
We'll come.
Nice.
Ellen, we found Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
Really?
Tak.
What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father.
He does.
No.
But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship?
No właśnie, biały korab to wtedy zatonął, to był jego
The
statek.
king's family drowned.
My father was there.
No właśnie. O,
He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes. But I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like. He told me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us.
What happened then?
They hanged him. I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice. Quiet.
jeszcze śpiewa tam.
As if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom never.
Nawet mu nie dał dokończyć, gnój.
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Tak.
Who were they?
The Sheriff of Shiring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waileran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I.
What?
I curse you! All of you! He will return!
O kuźwa!
One day you will be judged for what you did.
To był James, ten
Your
o...
houses shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow sadness and regret.
Dlatego on do mnie mówił, jak podpaliłem tą katedrę, jak byłem mały, że jestem jego jestem duchem i wróciłem. To był on nie utonął. Czyli został nam tylko biskup do zabicia. Ło, kuźwa, tego się nie spodziewałem. Myślałem, że poda nam jakichś randomowych typów, których nie znamy, a to były największe kurwy na świecie. O Boże.
He helped to recover the bones of the saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great cathedral of Shiring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shiring has promised to support us. But he has
My tam
not
stoimy
done
w tłumie,
so
jakby
for
co, nie?
himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With
Nic
this
was nie uratuje,
cathedral,
ciebie tym bardziej,
we
biskupie,
will bring
śmieciu.
an end to the dark times.
Waileran, by God.
Jack, what are you doing here?
O tak!
My father died by your hands, Waileran. His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here.
O tak!
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town, our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild.
Tak jest!
All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.
O tak! Pięknie, podoba mi się to. Rozdział 16. Dom. Filip pomógł Jonathanowi w zasadzeniu nowego drzewa. Filip odprawił pierwszą mszę od dłuższego czasu. Filip poparł postęp z Madonną, ponieważ daje on ludziom nadzieję. Alien i Jack wrócili do Kingsbridge. I to był rozdział 16. O wiele krótszy, ale coś czuję, że kolejny będzie długi, więc trzymajcie się do następnego rozdziału.